race fans, Brian Aho here, bringing you a little bit of a recap here from the last couple weeks and our first installment of the BuyRacers.com One to Go Show late model power rankings for 2023. Before we get into that, let's talk. I'm in a truck right now. I'm in a different truck, right? But trucking is a good industry. You want to make some money? You want a job that's maybe a little bit recession proof? Give the folks over at S&S Transport a call. Brad and Brian sang over there, Grand Forks, North Dakota. They've had a trucking company for a very, very long time. They treat their drivers well. They get the miles they're needing, and they do a lot for dirt track racing too, in case you haven't noticed. So S&S Transport, quick shout out to that group. Let's talk a little bit of results here from the last couple weeks, then we'll get into the good stuff. A couple weeks back, opening night, Fiesta City Speedway, Montevideo, Minnesota. Jordan Tollickson parked it in victory lane. North Dakota driver Lance Schill come down with a nice strong second. Tollickson, really tough to beat on his home turf. I-94 EMR Speedway in Fergus Falls. Great win. Cole Schill, the 44, parking it in victory lane. Some interesting developments over there. Josh Zimpel, who was ultra impressive down in Arizona over the winter, it looked like he probably was going to be the guy to beat. I mean, he looked good. Electrical issues, DNF, pulled off leading. Then Cole Schill takes the lead, looking really strong. Danny Vang running second. It's a little separation, first, second, third. Full Searing in third. Danny Vang gets in the fence down the back straightaway, parks it against the wall in three. Bam! Here comes Cole Searing. Bam! Here comes Shane Edgerton. Two cars back to MB, both of them needing clips. Not a good start to the season. It's some guy going, I got a fan question of the week. Why is Cole Searing running into parked cars? I'm like, hey, dumbass, you ever raced a car? Things happen a little faster than what you think. Donkey award to that guy. These things are expensive. We don't want to really see that happen. You're hauling the mailer on the high side of that Fergus, and pretty sure that Cole, Danny, some of these guys probably won more races than a lot of guys. So let's relax just a little bit there. Okay. Now let's jump over to the Gillette Thunder Speedway. They decided, hey, we're not going to be with Soda this year, right? Kind of picked on old Searing and Becker. Like, what are you guys doing going out to Gillette, right? Skorcheski and them. Well, guess what? They're kind of regretting not being with Soda because they had one late model. One. Heather Merton's the only car there. They said, well, we can let you go test, but that's about all you get to do. I don't know. Is the writing on the wall? Late model's done at Gillette. I mean, not even Eddie Kirchhoff was there, so kind of a tough deal. Plymouth Dirt Track over in Plymouth, Wisconsin. They have the Super 6 Series over there. Brad Mueller, shocking the world. Taylor Scheffler had it won, got into lap traffic, and refused to actually try to pass them. And Mueller came from third to win on the final circuit. Scheffler slipped back to third. Justin Ritchie got second. Now, let's jump into this past week. Fiesta City Speedway in Montevideo. Back-to-back wins. Jordan Tollickson, Mr. BuyRacers.com himself. But what was noticeable to me, a great run here. Max Nelson running a 28 special race car, not an MB, not a Rocket, not a Longhorn. Yes, a 28 special built right in Hibbing by Jeff Provenzino. He threw a haymaker in there on the last lap and lap traffic, got hung up a little bit, but he was there, had a shot to win that race. Going to be fun to see if Max Nelson can steal some wins this year. North Dakota, Devil's Lake Speedway, Devil's Playground out there. If you had to make a list, right, we talk about Illinois late model racing, high side hustling, carving on the cushion, absolutely banging the boards. This guy right here might be in my top 5 for drivers that can make it happen over in Illinois. The 14 of Brody Troft-Ruben. This kid is an absolute mutter. He is fun to watch. When it's got a little grip, a little character, he's a dude. He's fun. And congratulations on the opening night win for the NLRA late models at Devil's Lake. Wisconsin, a couple veterans battling for the win at the 7th annual Randy Buss Icebreaker in Menominee. John Canta looked like he might be starting off the 2023 season with a win. That would have been cool. I'm a fan. Right? Mr. Smooth of Wissota himself. We used to call him Johnny Cantalose. That's what we used to call him. But he got hung up in lappers there a little bit, and it just took one little bobble in lap traffic in the Double One Express. Pat Dorr, he made him pay. Pat Dorr, opening night winner in Menominee. Shawano Speedway in Shawano. No, not Nick Anvilink. But yes, another second generation driver, Gunnar Frank, a great opening night win on the half mile over in Shawano. And at Plymouth, little bit of redemption there. Taylor Scheffler winning night 2 of the Super 6 Series. Justin Schmidt made a charge, got into a lapper, ended up DNFing. Brad Miller was right there with him at the end, but Scheffler winning night number 2. So with that said, folks, let's jump into it now. The BuyRaceShirts.com late model power rankings, the opening installment for 2023. Little shout out here to BuyRaceShirts.com. You need hats, shirts, hoodies, right? Whatever you need. The folks at BuyRaceShirts.com do a great job. Late model guy himself, right? Jordan Tollickson has a great staff down in Montevideo, Minnesota. Whether you need a big quantity, a small quantity, if you need custom design work or something more basic, they can do it all. They'll take good care of you. Get a hold of them, BuyRaceShirts.com. At number 10, opening night winner at Fergus Falls, Cole Schill. Won 4 specials last year. NLRA races over at Buffalo River and Greenbush. Won both nights at Underwood. Let's face it, a couple years back, he was on the rise. He was going to win a bunch of races. When you lose a family member, it gets tough. It took a little bit to adapt from that. I probably never do, right? But the fact of the matter is, he has progressively started getting faster and faster and faster the second half of last year. Cole Schill, ultra smooth, super consistent, easy on equipment. He's going to win some races this year in that 44. He's at number 10. At number 9, this guy came on my radar a couple years back. Never heard of him until a couple years ago. But he won the Masters on night number 1 in a flat-out, unbelievable race between him and Pat Dorr. Nick Panitsky. Remember that name. Number 22. Primarily Cedar Lake. You probably see him a little bit at some of the Wisconsin specials. I would love to see a whole lot more of him. I'm not sure what his racing schedule is, but Nick Panitsky is a guy that's going to win multiple specials here in 2023. Mark my words. Number 8, your reigning national champion. I know I got him slid down a little bit. It is what it is. This isn't who's going to finish highest in points. If I put all these drivers together, who do I think would come out on top, right? That's what this is. This is let's get all the late model guys in one group and who's going to win. Chad Becker's in that conversation, but he's at number 8. 4 big ones last year. He won Fiesta City. He won day 2 late model special there. Wasota 100. He did win night number 1. That's probably one of the toughest nights to win of the year. Both nights of the Autumn Classic. Really, really tough at Casino. But Chad Becker in at number 8. At number 7, your 2-time and reigning NLRA champion, Mike Gresseth. He actually won NLRA features last year at Greenbush, Ada, Devil's Lake, Lisbon. He won 2 of them. He won the $5 grand to win Golden Hammer. The NLRA region, he's the guy. Downfall. He's not trough grooming, right? When it's elbows up, carving the high side, banging the boards, he's like, I'm not interested in that. But when it's smooth, when it's absolutely momentumed up, he's the guy. The drier it gets, the faster he gets. Kid knows how to wheel a race car. Gresseth at number 7. At number 6, this guy probably could be argued it could have been a little higher. He won lots of invitationals at the end of last year. Was super strong. Don Shaw at number 6. On night 3, he won the night 3 prelim at the 100. The Jamestown Stock Car Stampede, I'll bet a little bit controversial win there, maybe. NLRA race at Fargo and that little race over in Grand Forks called the John Seitz Memorial. Big payday for him. Don Shaw, extremely fast, limited schedule, but he's at number 6. At number 5, opening night winner at Menominee, the Double One Express, Pat Dorr. 4 special event wins last year. He won more, but I'm going to talk about some of his specials. Labor Day Shootout, double digits, second most winning driver in Labor Day Shootout history behind Skeeter Esty. Won a Challenge Series race at I-94, the Fall Classic, another Fall Classic at Ogilvie. Probably going to be pretty tough this weekend at the Challenge Series race. And the USA Nationals, night number 2, he won 16th to 1st. Unbelievable race at Cedar Lake. That was a game changer, right? Now, what's interesting is Pat Dorr committed. He made the verbal commitment that he's going to follow the Challenge Series here in 2023. That is a great addition. That dude is going to bring some fans. He is worth the price of admission all by himself. Number 4, a guy that's probably never going to race against any of these guys, Nick Anveling, right? He's like the 87-time Dirt Kings champion. He won a bunch of them. 2,500 to win special at Shawano. I mean, he had Dirt Kings wins, Gravity Park, Shawano, Autogaming, Angel Park, Wilmot. I mean, when it goes to the big half mile, I'm shocked he didn't win the opener. Bert picked him on our show, and Gunnar Frank kind of upset him there a little bit. But Nick Anveling is a flat-out wheel man. He's at number 4. At number 3, your reigning structural buildings, Wissota Late Model Challenge Series champion, Cole Searing. He won Tri-State at Huron last year. A little bit of a gift right there from Kent Arment at the scales. 5,000 a win deal. He won a couple Challenge Series races. He won the Challenge Series. Primarily raced a limited schedule race for money. It was a prove it year last year, and guess what he did? He proved that he can actually race with the best racers in Wissota and be on the podium. He got second, I believe, at the 10 grand to win race at the Masters as well. So Cole Searing absolutely in the conversation, but if I had to put him against the next 2 over a whole body, like racing against, just depending on the tracks, I guess, I think I would maybe put the next 2 a little higher. And there's going to be people that think I should have the front 2 flipped, but guess what? They can do that on their show, right? So, number 2, AJ Deeble. A lot of people would say, how can you put a guy in there that barely races? Because he's sickening. What do I mean by sickening? He's a guy that can take a freaking month off, literally hop in a race car, go out and win a race. I could never do that. I'd get in a race. It took me 2-3 nights to kind of get in a rhythm of any kind. This guy can literally race barely at all, and he's always in contention to win. 5 grand to win show at Cedar, legendary 100 again. The Dirt Kings Tom Siding Memorial at Red Cedar. I mean, if he's on the racetrack, another podium finish right at the sites. If he's on the racetrack, he's in the top 3. It just is what it is, unless he DNFs. But AJ Deeble, probably a guy that if he really just focused and said, I'm gonna race, I'm gonna get after it, race, he'd be the guy to beat in any championship battle. If there was ever a guy to race like Lucas Oil or World of Outlaw from our region, he'd be the dude. He just has other commitments that doesn't allow him to do that. So it's hard to put him at 1 because the hunger factor isn't quite there. The skill is, the knowledge is, but the hunger is not. So it is what it is. That's why Cole Searing might be able to be number 1, but we'll see. We'll let this play out over the next few weeks. At number 1, kind of a homer pick, but telling you what, this guy won more invitationals last year than anybody in Wissota. The Hermantown Hammer, Daryl Nelson. Labor Day shootout, the 444 Tanner Byhome Memorial at Ashland, the Red Clay Classic, feature number 2 at the Twin 25s, the Northern Nationals at the Gondiklah Speedway, the Trackside Collectibles 40, plus the other late model special at Rice Lake. I mean, that's 7 right there. Plus he got second at the Punky last year. I mean, Daryl Nelson is a guy. Write this down right now. 2023 structural buildings, Wissota Late Model Challenge Series champion. That is going to be Daryl Nelson. Okay. He is one of my favorite people to watch in all of racing, right? He's the most versatile. High side, middle, bottom, smooth, rough, tacky, dry stick. It don't matter. He's good on it all. Not that these other guys aren't, right? But this guy here, if you're leading and you go high, he goes low. You go low, he goes high. That's just what he does. He's not following you. He's going to put a show on. And I tell you, it's going to be, his kid is going to be really good too. And it's going to be kind of a bummer because once his kid starts to wheel that thing, he's probably going to hang up the steering wheel. But while you can, all of these drivers here, you need to really be paying attention to them. Daryl Nelson is number 1 right now. And I think you're going to see why here really soon. So there you have it, folks. The BuyRaceShirts.com one to go show late model power rankings, initial installment. Hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure below here, go ahead, click subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and be sure to like, comment, tell us what you think. Who do you think should be in the top 10? Who do you think are the contenders? I'm Ryan Ahill. Thanks for tuning in.